In this video, we have a bear problem at the pond. It wasn't very long ago I put up a brand new fish feeder so that I could actually feed the fish and make them grow even faster. But just last night I got this picture of a big old black bear, and whenever I got another picture of him walking away, the fish feeder was gone. When I showed up to the pond to check it out, exactly what I thought had happened, this bear had destroyed our fish feeder. So in this video, we're going to be setting a booby trap for the bear, getting a bear-proof fish feeder, building a dock, setting up some fish structure, and then we're even gonna be setting out some traps to catch an unwanted pond critter. But first, let's go back to the pond and see what this bear done to my fish feeder last night. He broke off the lid. The lid's way down there in the bottom. He's gonna try to get it out. All the fish feed's gone, which I'm sure the fish love that. Dude, look at this. I really like that. Shepherd's hook. He stinking broke it though. He just like pushed it over. I'm gonna do two things. First of all, I'm gonna pull out the SD card and we're gonna go home and review the footage real time. All right, so we're flipping through the pictures. It looks like deer have been using the little, whatever you call that little point, which is fine. I'm good with the deer, but not anything else. Just keep flipping. There's me and my buddy. We went fishing. Dan. You might see that later. Here we actually got bucks though. Like we got a little buck. He's just chilling. Nothing too big, but he did walk out on the dam. There we got more deer out there, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the bear, which was actually last night. So there he is. First picture at 06 o'clock. So that's 12:06, I think.
Big bear.
It looks like he's half mangy though, which could be. It is summer. It's summer, so they don't really need a big thick coat. Here's the first video we got of him. He looks pretty easy to identify because he got scared of something. He literally, kind of nasty, low key, but he doesn't have fur on his legs. He all right, looking back at the camera. Yeah, we see you, dude. We see everything and more than we're looking for. In the next picture, I don't know where he went. However, the next video, looking for movement, he's over here. So he went down to the water. The next picture, though,
where is the fish feeder?
So here's the thing. Here's the video we got of him. He spooked back, but then the next picture, the fish feeder's gone. So somewhere right in there we didn't get footage of it, but he did actually, I think the bear did it. But let's look at these videos and see what else we can see about him. I mean, as for how big of a bear that is, it's a pretty big bear. And right now he's going down where the fish feeder was. So
he's a prime culprit.
That's him. It's funny that he doesn't have any fur because I've got more pictures of bears this year, like maybe like a couple weeks ago, but they didn't have fur like that. So I wonder if it's the same bear or if it's literally a different bear every time. Because bears do travel a lot, and he could move through, go destroy the feeder, and leave and never be back. But it's pretty easy to identify this guy. He's a big boar, which is a boy, and he doesn't hardly have any fur on him. But he is big, and he is strong enough to rip my feeder. And then there it is the next day. That's the picture where I could really tell, hey, I think my fish feeder's gone. And guess what? It was. It was gone. It was. It really was. Then there's me. But we're going back there right now. I'm going to take another trail camera. And we're going to take a booby trap. All right, guys, we're back out here. I'm thinking probably from that rock to over here, it's going to be a very standard, a basic trip wire. This should get him good. We're going to be doing it with some fishing line, this for a waterproof cover, and then this is really going to bring them home. It's going to be pretty basic how this works. You've already got this you've already got the pin kind of straightened out. So you tie the line or wire, whatever you want right here, string it up, make sure the grenade or whatever your thing is pretty tight. That way, whenever it kicks it, it jerks it, this pin flies out, the thing goes over, and the rest happens from there. The trail camera should be far enough away. I think we'll be fine. We're going to set it right there, string that across right here. The line should end up being about that high off. It should be good if any kind of leg hits it. Might get a deer in the process, not sure yet, but hey, it's what we're going to do, it's what we're going to try. It should work good. I'm going to set this up. I'll show you guys what this looks like right here in a second. So how this grenade really works, it's not a real grenade, so it's not going to like explode and frag, but it does take these shotgun caps and they go right up here. Whenever the the pin is pulled, it still springs, it still blows up a little bit. It doesn't actually blow up, it just makes a really loud noise, which is also called blowing up. But whenever I run this pin straight through there, all I gotta do is pull this, and that flies and that goes crazy, which is good because that's what we're wanting. Now, I'm actually gonna nestle it right into these rocks. And you gotta make sure that the grenade itself is pretty stout in there, because if it's not, if it has any room to wiggle, it will. So we're gonna let it fly.
How hard is the pin to pull out? So
It's not super hard, but like if something kicks it, then it's flying out.
Well, it looks like you're pulling it right now. So
I'm pulling it a little bit, but it's also under a little bit of tension.
okay.
Oh, that's good right there. That's good. So now it's under a little bit of tension. That's just enough to keep it up off the ground. And the next thing that comes through and kicks it, it's going. I'm gonna take this because it has been raining a little bit. Put like a little waterproof over it. Something light, nothing heavy. Boom, baby! We just set a tripwire. That camera's going, that camera's going. Anything that walks through here is gonna feel it, it's gonna hear it. And the bear booby trap is set. Let's just hope that I'm not the one that sets it off. If it was a real grenade, it'd work the same way. Now we just wait. See you guys when something happens.
Positive, encouraging, okay, love, I'm Lori. To have an attitude of gratitude is what I heard my kindergarten nephew describe it as. Hey, saying thank you, Lord, it's always a good thing. Thank you, Lord, for small things like me and her.
Me and Ethan's gonna be building another pond project. If you can't tell, we got a lot of wood. We're gonna be building a dock. We got this wood, normal wood for like the base of it. Over there we got the barrels to hopefully float it. We don't really know if it's enough to keep it above the water. We're gonna find that out when we put it in the pond.
It might sound like a boogie board just sliding on the water.
It might just be like just below the surface deck.
That's alright if you're wearing Crocs.
Yeah, I wear Crocs anyways.
Yeah, it keeps the dock cool because you know when you go to the beach and
Yeah.
you walk from like the sand and onto the wood.
We may just invent a new thing, a subsurface, but we'll see how much flotation they give off. Then we got these for deck thing. It's like that weird plastic wood, but I got it on sale, so I feel like I got a good deal. Long story short, we're not builder. I'm not a builder. Are you a builder?
I just work here.
We're gonna run a time lapse. We're gonna just build this thing and wish us luck because we're definitely gonna need it. All right, we're about halfway done. Here's what we got. Ethan, tell them what we got going on.
We got the dock right here, and then over there's the walkway.
So what we got is 8 foot wide, 12 foot long, and then the barrels are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna have the boards going across. Let's set one across, give them an idea. We're gonna lay these boards down like that. And then here's the walkway. That way we can actually get it out in the water. And it is actually 16 foot long.
Finally loaded up the docks and we're taking them down to the pond. And I think we're gonna try to get them in the water and everything good today. There's the docks. You can see the one up top is the actual platform and that one on the bottom is the 16-foot walkway. So pretty solid. We're gonna get them taken down there and yeah, we're gonna get them things put in. All right, there you are. I'm gonna get this thing in the pond, get this thing good, ready to go. All right, how are we wanting to do this?
Put them two on that outside tube and these two on that tube, and I'll pick it up.
All right. Really need to hover it. Yeah, get it over there right now, and then we got to attach the barrels. All right, now swing it around that way and don't hit the truck. We should be on to the next step at least. Let's try to get it right here. How's it lining up over there? All right, we'll probably get over here. Pretty good. All right, it has been a couple days since I set out the bear trap. I'm looking over there at it. I am seeing the line shine, so it has not been set off. And I have brought some feed out here. I'm gonna manually feed these fish. I want them to eat. All right, Declan, this is not for you. This fish food's not for you. Go, get away, get away. Get away, Declan. Declan, go, get away, get out of here. You too, Shantae. This fish food's not for y'all. Get out, go, 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 get out. If they start eating this fish food, we're gonna have problems. There they go. There they go. Declan, I told you it ain't your food. Get out of here. Declan, I'm serious. Now, where was I? But long story short, the reason I'm here, yep, fed the fish a little bit, but main thing, bear has not been back. The grenade is still set. What we're doing today is I was driving down the road. I found where someone threw out some old cinder blocks that were busted up. Jumped in the minivan, picked them up. We're gonna be building a cinder block tree for this pond, adding a little more structure. Then we're going to the other pond. I'm gonna have to get in the water a little bit because we're adding a little bit more structure. Pretty cool, and it's nice that, well, while we don't have rain, while the pond is still low, might as well take advantage of it while we can actually get down there in the water and set some stuff out. Because it won't be very long. As soon as the water comes up, and if this pond holds water, we'll never be able to walk down there again. So we're gonna go ahead and take full advantage of it. We're gonna build this. We're gonna put all the structure that we can and want to while the pond is actually low. All right, so what I'm thinking since we got a few cinder blocks, I want it to be kind of start there, maybe build like some kind of tree thing. I'm gonna make sure that I do it to where the holes are sideways so that the fish can get in there and swim around. and do whatever they really want to. So nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. But I do want it cool enough that they can use this in some cool ways. So maybe even another one right there. Another one right here. Now we've got some scrap pieces here. Might even do this. Might even do that. You build them a good little thing like that. Pretty much when you're building this structure, you just got to think, what would a minnow like? What would a minnow like? Because really that's what we're building this for. It's not for the bass, but we're building this for the minnows so that they can hide and actually escape the bass. Boom. Concrete tree, costed $0 because I found them on the side of the road. Now, is this thing gonna be anything crazy? No, it's not really the biggest deal ever, but for a bluegill, for a couple minnows, to be able to swim down here, get chased by bass, and be able to go up in there, it's a pretty big deal. For a bluegill to be getting chased like crazy and come down here, swim in here, and then swim around, then swim around, then swim around here, and swim around here, and swim around here, and then hide right there, that's a pretty big deal. It's gonna save his life. And although the way it works is that bass eat the bluegill to get bigger, if the bass eats all the bluegill, then they can't regenerate and spawn. So really, we're putting in little stuff like that. You can see, it's not very much. It just covers a fraction of a percent of the pond. But for a few bluegill and a bunch of minnows, that's gonna be a pretty big deal. So while we're building structure for the fish, we also need to build structure for the fishermen. So I'm gonna have something here, maybe a few more things, maybe a little tree, Christmas tree, something. I'm gonna leave this a blank space. Then I got that little line of structure. Then I'm gonna leave a blank space. Right now where that tree is, plan on taking that tree out and moving it. I'm gonna do that pretty soon. Then gonna have a blank space, rocks, blank space, structure line. That way, because in order to do the best fishing, probably wouldn't be the best to literally throw my line right there, because I will get hung up on those and they will break me off. But if I can throw right here and the fish come from that to eat my bait, I would be happy with that, and I'd have a better chance of getting him out. So what you gotta think about? You gotta build structure for not only the fish, but also the fishermen. I'm ready to start fishing it. Hopefully it fills up and the leak is fixed. Yep. Yeah, that's important. All right, so now we're back out at this pond, the big one. You can see the water level has went down. I think this one has a tiny leak in it, but also we've not had a decent rain in like 3 months. So just, it looks bad, but when you look over there at the pipe, it's really not went down that much. But I'm taking the socks off. I'm going bare Crocs. I will turn them in 4-wheel drive in case we get into some mud. So I don't know if y'all remember a little bit back, but whenever we was doing the frogging video, we took Adam's Christmas tree and we dumped it in.
Very big, but that's what we have.
Big deal to a bluegill.
That's right. Still got lights on it, so if we can find that, we may put a waterproof jackery down there and we can light it up.
Dude, that would be cool. I bet those lights would work underwater for at least a little bit.
I don't know, I got it from the Dollar Tree, so.
How much was it?
$30.
$30 at the dollar
That's
store?
what I'm saying.
That's not right.
Maybe the $30 store, but it might sink. It's got metal in it, yeah.
I'd say it'll sink then.
These are metal.
Yeah, that's good.
Right here?
Yeah. I'm gonna run it over. You can do this side.
I'm about to say, it's gonna.
Whenever you're ready. That's good. And there she goes. Is it floating? No. It's just a big white blob underwater. Well, we dumped it in way out there. Didn't think much about it. We're gonna go grab it. We're gonna move it. Then I found this big old stump in the woods. I think it looks pretty cool. We're gonna move it out in the water too. Let's go grab your Christmas tree. We'll get it moved up good. Luckily, it shouldn't get this low during spawning season because it's the spring and it's rainy. But we're gonna put that structure like right here and right there so that whenever the brand new fish do pop up, they have easy access to hide, which is important.
I see it.
See it?
Yep, on your left.
It's kind of deep, ain't it?
Yep. That's about a 4-foot tree, but I think it's on its side.
Yeah, it's deep, deep. I don't know if I want to go swimming for it.
You're gonna need a big one.
I don't know if this one's
Well, it just depends on if you get knee deep.
I'll go up to my knees. That's about as deep as I'm gonna go right now.
What's the water temp?
Feels good, dude. Now I might be able to do this. It's gonna start getting deep. Got him. Adam's little Christmas tree. Here we go.
I thought I'd never see it again.
Let's go find us a good spot to set this thing up.
It stinks too.
Let's see, we could set it like in this mud. And I'd like to stand it up. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty good. I'll grab some rocks and set around it. That way it don't ever tip over. I would have not let it tip over.
Showing off.
Look at there.
That ain't going nowhere.
I'll fluff it up a little bit more, so with structure, fish structure like this, the more surface area and just areas, cubic feet you can take up. Okay, son. Now all the minnows and baby fish can swim inside of this and around this and get hung up in all the electric lights and stuff.
I think it looks good.
There too. When it rains on it, should rain just like normal. When the water rises, the water should still be up to about right here. Cool.
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Don't either.
It's
I
pretty.
think that'd be pretty cool. Something extra for the fish.
Swim
Something
under
extra
it.
for us to look at.
Anything else while you're in the water?
Let's see. I got that pallet, which I put down a little while ago. I think it's good. Pallet, that thing, the Christmas tree, for now, I think we're good.
It's a happening area over here.
Happening area, this is where all the fun happens for the fish. I like it.
Down through here and then on the sides of it. And you could probably stack them 12, 15 high, maybe higher.
Fish will like that. We're getting a deal on them, son. Instead of $2 a piece, we're getting them 50% off because some of them's busted. Heck yeah. Can you imagine the field day a minnows gonna have with this? Minnows gonna go crazy. Bluegill swimming in and out of this. They won't know what's going on. The fish are gonna go crazy. And they don't weigh nothing. So, it won't take much weight to weigh them down either. We got way more pallets than I came here to buy, but okay, I guess. $1 a piece. I'll figure out a way to use them somehow, I guess. All right, guys, we're at the pond. I'm gonna go ahead and build this first structure, give you guys an idea. I bought plenty of pallets, and I feel like this pond itself needs at least at least probably a few different structures. So I'm gonna go ahead and build one, give you guys kind of the idea, and then it's basically gonna be that here, there, and yonder. Pretty cool. I think I got potential. These are kind of sweet because they're not actually heavy. I thought they were gonna be heavy and hard to work with, but I can carry two easy. And by the way, if you're wondering, that's not how it's gonna look. I'm just getting them down there. Now I'm gonna grab a couple cinder blocks. No. For this to work the way I'm looking for it to, it needs to start off being very level. So. Now from there, we might be able to build up on it. Let's see. That's pretty level. That's a really good start. Now here's the plan. Once we get that one, I'll go ahead and build up another one high. And then we're gonna start doing some cool stuff. At least I think it's cool.
Help.
It might not work the way I was looking for it exactly to. We took it from just straight up one straight pallet to now this whole structure is really dominating this corner, which is good because this little wing, which wouldn't usually be there, it now adds structure for this whole area. And we're gonna build it up, have another wing coming out and dominate this whole area. At the end of the day, it's still a stack of pallets, but once this water comes over this, there's gonna be a bunch of fish in here. And like for the minnows, which is some of the most important part, if your minnows, take this for example, if your minnow is right here, and there's a bass right here, he can't really go anywhere. He might be able to come in here, maybe, that's good. But over here, he can legit go, whoop, and a bass can't get him. And that's a big deal because, I don't know. It's good that your bass eat them, but if your bass eats all of them, then there's no more to reproduce. So if you take care of your bait, you're taking care of your big fish. Plus, this is gonna be good for big fish too, because big fish can't even swim in there. All right, I'll hold this down if you can just slide that off.
Slide what off?
This whole top pallet.
Let me put some stuff on there.
That should hold it.
Yep.
Then we'll put two more cinder blocks, boom and boom. And boom! We just created a wicked looking brush pile that should never rot. Minnows, bass, bluegill, catfish could just, big old catfish could just sit right here and be happy. And it should be, this should be pretty close to the top of the water level, which isn't bad. And it's good that we're doing this before the water level comes back up, because once the water level comes back up, you ain't gonna be able to get down in the water and do this. All right, we just put in a couple more structures. I'll turn the phone around, I'll show y'all. So over there's that one. I ended up moving the blocks that we did the other day. I ended up moving them just over here and stacking them a little bit. My plan is to kind of leave this entire front open, just in case we end up getting big catfish in here. I want to be able to fight them from up here and not worry about getting caught up in structure. So that's kind of important there. So I'm leaving this entire front open. We'll make the size the structure. But over here, we put two little structures, kind of wide, you know, not as tall as this one, but they are just as wide. They're a little shorter and they do take up quite a bit of space.
Alright guys, here we are. We're at the pond. But we had a little bit of update. I bought the bear-proof fish feeder. By golly, you best believe we're gonna be putting a trail camera up on this 24/7 to see if a bear can actually get into it. And if they do, we're gonna have serious problems. Company that just sold me a bear-proof feeder. Hang in there, this thing's giant. It's supposed to be 30 gallons, but brother, this thing's big. Maybe that's why it's bear-proof. I'm gonna carry it up front and then we'll open it and all that good stuff over here. I'm probably gonna have to bolt this thing to the rocks, so. Also, this could be the best thing ever. We don't know yet. Ow, gosh, that hurt. All right, boys, there's the feeder. All right. All right. Pretty cool, I guess. This thing's stinking bear-proof, so I shouldn't be able to break it. Basically, here's what we're working with, though. It's supposed to set up like that. It's got holes in here so that I can actually bolt it down. So, and then shoots it out right here. Let's open it up, we'll see. I don't know if I'm buying it or not. I don't know if anything's actually bear-proof. I mean, they're not common, but let's say you get like a 600-pound bear. That dude will pick up the rock and move it. This isn't quite just a. This isn't just quite a. I will give them this. That is quite a bit sturdier than just your typical 30-gallon drum. So maybe it will hold up to a bear. I can tell you for sure it's a little bit stronger than that thing. And once we bolt it down to this rock, one of three things is going to happen once we bolt it to that rock. Either one, he's going to try and he can't get in. Good, score for us. Maybe we'll get epic trail cam footage too. Number two, he somehow breaks the feeder and I cry. Or number three, he somehow breaks the rock, which I would cry way more because that rock is epic. I do have dreams of turning this into the most epic fish pond ever, and part of that's going to be feeding them. Oh, I have an idea. If this is so sturdy, wonder if I could use it as a built-in seat. Now, if this thing doubles as like a seat, it might actually be worth it. Let me get it into position and we'll see how it does. This thing's gonna go right there. Let's see if it doubles as a seat. Can it hold me? Oh, son! It is a seat! Oh, this is worth every penny now. Look at this. This is good. We'll put a bolt there. Maybe a big bolt right there. I'd say the bear can't get this. And this thing's honestly made to hook onto a tree, so you can kind of hook that onto a tree. It comes with a bolt thing over there, but I really like to come in here and feed my fish. I just think this is the coolest thing in the world. I get to throw little pellets in the water and fish come up and eat it. I think it's so cool. But yeah, long story short, we got the big bear-proof feeder. We're gonna come back tomorrow with big old bolts. We've still got to get a battery, I think. I don't think I have a battery yet. And then we're just going to put up trail cameras on it and see what the bears do. Because they will be back. They will find it. Don't know when. It's just a matter of time. It's definitely a matter of time. But right over here comes problem number 2, which is actually Declan. If for whatever reason there's corn up here, all that he could imagine, and Declan still eats the fish food, that's when we're really gonna have problems. We'll just figure out a way to trap Declan and put him at a different pond. All right, guys, it is the next day. Anyways, I'm gonna grab some of this stuff. We're going down there. We're doing this feeder right now. We're lagging this thing into the rock. Now we're plugging in this hammer drill thing. Should let us drill into the rock. Alright, so it's actually the next day. We are going to be reviewing this footage. I actually remember I haven't reviewed this footage in a long time, so there's a lot of stuff going on here at the pond. At this point, though, right here, that's the same day not too long ago where we actually set up the booby trap. So let's go ahead and skim through these, and we'll just skim through real quick. See if any of these deer stepped on the landmine. It never set off, so we know none of them set it off, but I wonder if any got close or any accidentally bumped it or something. We'll skip. This deer's close. Maybe the deer smell stuff, because deer do have a really good sense of smell. Let's check this video out a little bit slower. Don't have great audio, but there doesn't seem to be much happening right there. She's definitely smelling. Maybe she smelled where I was fiddling down there. Maybe she smelled the string, something. Either way, she got spooked. Honestly, that little buck, she's not too spooked because she didn't go very far. We're going to skip through these. Here we got Declan and some of the ducks. There's me out again. Here's a baby deer. Some baby deers. I really kind of thought they were going to accidentally kick over the trap because they ain't very smart. I believe they got right up on it. They just never tripped it. Which the deer really don't have a reason to go out that far. There is a little pieces of clover. I threw out some clover here and there that they could be eating right here. But realistically, they don't have much of a reason to go all the way out to those rocks. So it kind of makes sense. Let's go on. Here's actually a coyote, which kind of hits home because this is actually one of the first predators known to be on the pond. Now, this was a little while ago, and it doesn't look like Declan or anybody was around, but no one wants to see a coyote. He's walking straight towards the line. The video cut off right before. Either way, we know he didn't pop it, so we'll go ahead and skip to whatever's happening next. There's fishing again. Boys, is it raining right now? Well, it's raining outside. Huh. It's not supposed to rain today. Whatever. Let's keep on skipping and here we go. Here we got bears. This is after the tripwire is set up. Doesn't seem like a huge bear, but it is big enough to have cubs. Let's watch this video. Mama bear, 1 cub, 2 cub. And there's still something messing with the camera. 3 cub right there. We wouldn't know there was 3 cubs if it wasn't for this video. Let's watch it one more time. And let's pay attention to the big bear, because it walks right through it. Right there, it's on the tripwire. It hits the tripwire. You could see it flinging and you just walk right over top of it. I bet that if I went back and I did it with braided line, which has no stretch at all, because with this, you could probably kick that line this far, and it's just going to stretch and then come back. But if we go back with some braid, as soon as you tug it, it's going. Unfortunately, didn't get the video, but of her doing anything. But at this point, the feeder was already broke, so there wasn't much to really break. Alright guys, back out here at the pond. Here's what I'm looking at. It's early morning, wanted to come watch the fish feed. Everything went great, but I noticed that there has been something trying to get into this fish feeder. I noticed because, first of all, it's a little dirty. It's a little muddy. Got some mud on it, and I was like, okay, what we got going on here? There's nothing here but rocks. There shouldn't be mud on here. Then I noticed this print. Kind of looks like a paw print of something. We got some right there. Some right up here on the lid. All this right here. I don't see any scratches in it. I do see some more paw prints here and here. I'm pretty sure something's been trying to get into this. I don't know if it's a bear or not, but we do have the trail camera that's been set right there. I'm pulling the SD card of that one, pulling the SD card of that camera. We're going to take these things back to the house right now, check these out, and see if they were successful at getting some of the feed out. It don't look like they broke anything, and it is still connected to the rocks. But I do want to see what they did about it and if they were able to actually get anything out of it. All right, so first we're going to be taking a look at the trail camera that was set back a little bit. Then we'll go through later and we'll check up on the trail camera that's up close. So right now we're just looking for anything. Here seems to be like a vulture thing, which is kind of sketchy, but who knows? Maybe a fish died or something and he just came to clean up the scraps. It read rain. That's cool. That's a lot of rain, dude. That's been a little while ago, so that's nothing too recent. We'll skip on through. There's a random dog. Don't know where that one even came from. There's me and Adam. doing some stuff, putting some paddlefish in the pond from a few videos ago, if you remember that. We'll keep on skipping, get ahead, get ahead, get ahead. Let's see. There's me just checking out the place, nothing too crazy. Here's a buck. No, this one's not a buck. It's just a doe. Good doe, though. Right in front of the camera, too. Pretty cool. Keep on flipping. We're looking for a bear. Probably anything at nighttime, too. There's that vulture's back. Not too worried about him, though. There might be a suspect. We have a raccoon. Now, obviously, I don't see that he's up on the feeder just yet. But I feel like there's a pretty good chance. If you don't know, a raccoon's pretty much like a miniature grizzly bear. That's what I always say. But you know what? They're pretty well the same as a bear. They'll do the same exact things. There's me, and this is the day I actually put up that other trail camera right there on that bucket. So we'll skip through these real slow. And that first night, didn't see anything on this camera, except deer. Second night, didn't see anything either. We're going to keep on flipping until we start seeing some stuff. Here we got another doe. I don't know what it's looking at, maybe a fish or something, but... Alright, so right here, this camera went off. I'm not able to see exactly what it is just yet. I'm looking through the footage. I'm actually playing it. I'm not seeing anything, so maybe it was a false alarm. But then I think that might have been me. Ooh, here's the bobcat. Same bobcat that killed Declan. And he's back once again looking for something else to eat. Probably another duck if he can find it. And then that is... So this camera really didn't get any footage of anything trying to get in the feeder, which is totally fine. We're going to go ahead and swap out for the other camera. This is the KG trail camera that was actually up close. So whatever got into it, we should have footage of it right here. Alright, here we are on the next trail camera. Obviously, the date's not right. I don't hardly ever set the dates right on my cameras. But anyways, here's a really cool video of Shantae just chilling beside the feeder. Pretty cool. Shantae's just living her best life. Let's keep on flipping, though, because we're really looking for something that's going to get in there and really mess with the feeder. There's a deer. We caught it in the background. Actually, it appears to be a buck. It kind of looks like it has something on its head. Yeah, it's a buck. Good buck, too, actually. We're going to keep on flipping until we find some good pictures of something trying to break in, because something left... Oh, look at... Shantae's trying to get in there and get a little duck feed. Something put those paw prints on there, and we want to know what it is. And I think we may have just found our first suspect. I'm seeing some fur. Looks like we got a raccoon. Let's watch this video in full length and see what we can see. I can't tell if he's chewing. He's chewing! So that means at least he was a little bit successful at finding at least a few pieces of feed. I wonder what he's going to do and how he's going to try to get into more feed, though. Alright, so he's playing with danger right there. If he slips off, he's falling right in the pond. But he is also reaching in there and trying his best to get all the feed he can. And it seems like he's actually doing pretty good too, which isn't what we want, but he's reaching in there, grabbing the feed, pulling it out, and he's good. And then that was me yesterday when I actually pulled the camera. So here's the thing. This raccoon has successfully got food out of this feeder. He's probably going to come back infinitely. Like, he will probably forever be back. So our biggest solution to getting rid of this raccoon, although he's not causing any problems yet, he could cause problems later by somehow figuring out how to break the feeder. We're just going to have to set a trap for him. Luckily he's not a black bear, so setting this trap's not going to be too crazy. Also, you cannot pass up the idea that these raccoons could be a threat to the ducks. You know, typically they're not the biggest predator, but no, dude, I mean, if there's a duck sitting on the bank, that raccoon will most definitely attack and kill that thing. As for the trap, I say we honestly set it right there on that rock. I think that's probably the perfect spot for him. And, well, we know that's where he's going, so should work out pretty good for him. For us, at least. Right there should be pretty good. I don't think this raccoon can mess anything up on this rock. I think it's pretty stable, so I'm gonna pull the trap door up. Get this guy set, and there we go. And here we go we finally caught one of the raccoons. We know that there's two from the video, but the fish feeder had actually went empty for a little bit, and I think that's why they kind of quit coming, which makes complete sense. But not too long ago, a couple days ago, I did refill it, and then last night we ended up catching him. So it's pretty good. As far as I can tell from the fish feeder, and I have had the camera on it, the camera wasn't actually looking at that because I had to move it around and stuff. But from what I can tell, the bears have not found this feeder yet. We did get footage of a bear walking right over there, but to my knowledge, he never really made it over here to check out the feeder, which makes sense. Usually the only time they actually come to the feeder is whenever some of the feed accidentally spills out on the ground and gets wet. That's really the way that they find it, because this feed on its own, I'm sure it smells, but it doesn't smell enough for a bear to just find it inside this metal container. But if it gets wet any little bit, the bears come straight to it. Let me feed, see what happens. The feeder should have done went off this morning, but we'll see. There still might be some bluegills a little hungry. Dang, maybe not. I don't know. The little minnows down there, they're always ready to eat, and there are thousands of them, which is perfect and exactly what we want. But as for this raccoon, let's take a closer look at him, and then we're probably just going to take him off somewhere. Well, we got two options as to what we can do, and one of them is not to leave him here. Hello, raccoon. Hello, raccoon. Uh-oh. He's a big one, too. I would guess this is a boar. He's a big one. Yeah, I think we caught him on the Funyuns. So far, he's not been aggressive, but I think he understands there's not much he can really do. Nice little raccoon, but it's really simple. If you got raccoons coming to a certain area often, it's pretty easy, dude. You can set out some dog food, set out a bag of chips, set out a honey bun. You're probably going to catch him. It just took us a little bit longer than we was hoping for, just simply because, well, the fish feeder ran out of feed and they wasn't actually coming. But now that I refilled it with feed, he was here. Click right over here if you haven't seen the full video of building this pond, or right over here to one of the more recent videos where we actually went down to the river, caught a bunch of catfish, and stocked them in the upper pond.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Go to kendallgray1.com/shop to get yourself a cool hat. #Jesus, #GrayGang.